Hi YouTube and welcome to my channel. I am doing another video in reference to narcissism and narcissistic abuse. But today I want to talk a little bit positive things that we can do to improve our situation while we're going through this process. So if you've never been to my channel before, I am trying to do lots of survival videos about different aspects of life. And narcissism is something that I have dealt with pretty much all my adult life. And it was once described to me by a therapist when I went with my husband after we were needing to have some marital therapy, family therapy. And this was like right after my stepdaughter came to live with us. And when he didn't show up for a second therapy session that we had scheduled, my therapist said, "You're married to a narcissist and do not expect this to change. In fact, if you're going to stay in this relationship, you have to understand that this kind of behavior of him not showing up for you is going to be continual, and you need to understand that it's something that you cannot change. So you need to either get a divorce or accept it, and then understand that this will be your lifelong thing that you'll have to deal with." And me being a Christian, a good Catholic Christian, I thought, well, I'm going to pray it away. I'm going to make sure that I find a way to prove him wrong, because my love is stronger, and love conquers all. And basically, although I was trying to be positive, there was a side of me that kind of was like, what is this narcissism thing? I really didn't understand it. And a lot of people don't understand it. They think when you say someone is a narcissist that they are actually, that they're actually just a bad person, or sometimes they relate it to being a psychopath or a sociopath or someone who's crazy. But in Dr. Romney's book, It's Not You, which I'm so grateful for, because this book has been like basically my savior and helping me understand narcissism. But before I even got the book, and I got the book from watching her videos on YouTube, and there she is. I love her perspective so much, because even though she is a clinician and she is the best person that's out there that's talking about narcissism, she makes it very plain for you to understand. So for someone who is going through it and trying to understand it, I wanted to make these videos to give people hope, to know there is survival on the other side. So the reason why I'm doing the videos is for myself, because I have to watch them again so I can go, oh, okay, remember, I don't need to think about this anymore because I already did a video about it. Or for my daughters, or for anybody who is actually trying to survive this. So it's really important that I try to document it. And then also I'm trying to do it for another reason, because I want people to know that this needs to be talked about, and that we cannot blame people for what they don't know. There was a time when people were smoking, and doctors would even say, have a cigarette to reduce your stress and relax, And then we found out that smoking is not good for us. And with narcissism, personality disorder, there is a layer of different forms and different behaviors that narcissists go through. And as I have been understanding it, it is very important for us as survivors of this to discuss it, to share our stories, and to have a community. So that's why I really am doing these videos. But also, I want to say that I want people to have something positive. When I say a survivor, I want them to know that just like if you're a cancer survivor, or if you're a survivor of physical abuse, that narcissistic abuse is something that you can get through. And I'm trying to get through it myself. So basically it is something that the world needs to talk about. The same way that a long time ago we didn't talk about a lot of different things, We need to start talking about it, normalizing it, and that way we can recognize it. And that's why I think that this book is so important. It's really, really important. I think everybody needs to get this book, literally. The second thing I want to say is it's very important. Like, this is my master plan. I got this book. And it's just like a guide for me to remember, like, this is 2024. I have lots of journals that I've written in. And when I start reading back the journals, I literally am shocked that this was a continual thing that I was going through. Even when I was pregnant, I had preeclampsia. I was on bed rest with both my daughters. I had 5 miscarriages before having them. I wanted them so badly. And I literally was going through the abuse pattern, and I had documented it in my pregnancy logs, my pregnancy journals. And so this, and when I go back and look at them, actually one of them with my first daughter, I didn't want her to ever read it because I felt like if she read it, she was going to feel bad about herself, because this is the person I chose to be her father. So I have to like take responsibility for my actions and my choices in doing that. So I felt like I can't ever show her that journal, because if I ever show it to her, she reads it, then she's going to think badly of herself. That is something that Dr. Romney says we need to stop doing. We need to stop making ourselves feel like we're bad people for our choices. And when someone is abusive to you and you don't speak on it and you don't talk about it, then people just brush it under the rug, or they think that you're the one who's crazy. So anyway, that's why I think it's really important to journal your master plan. And this is actually a calendar type of journal, and that's kind of what I like about it. But here's another thing. I found these and I love them because they're just very positive things that you can like tell yourself. Like, I'm just going to read a couple of them so you can like get an idea for what it says. Oh, I had it upside down. Probably why you can't read it. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, like one of them. It's a sticker and it says, "I did not cry today." Like when you're going through narcissistic abuse and you're surviving it, you're on the leaving end of it. Like, I cried myself to sleep every single night. And the crying is like really because I miss my daughters, because I have lost them. They wanted to be with their dad. He gives them whatever they want. And they chose him over me. And I felt like I am a horrible mother because I've stayed with them for 25 years and they chose him. So I cried every night. And someone told me, don't say that you cried. Don't say that you're desperate. Don't say that you're sad, because that's giving him power. I could care less anymore at all about giving him power. Like literally, he doesn't even exist in my mind anymore. And that is because I know that I have to be true to my own emotions. And saying that I cry is something like I got comfortable not getting empathy. I got comfortable not sharing my tears, not sharing my emotions, not feeling like if I'm crying, I can go to my partner for love and for support and for affection. I got comfortable with just like self basically empathy, or just trying to give myself my own love. And that's in every aspect of my life. And then when I wasn't getting that, I thought, okay, well, it's my fault because I'm not being good enough as a wife, as a partner. So it's my fault. But the truth is, crying is a release of emotions, and it's something that you need as you go through this process. When I divorced before, my mother had said, you got to go through the grief process and don't and I wasn't in love, like I hadn't spent a lot of time with this person that I was divorcing. So for me, it was just kind of like, I don't need to deal with that. And I put it away. But the truth is, when you've been with someone like I had for 25 years and really literally felt like this person is going to be your future and your everything, and that person hurts you, the tears are almost like, I would call it like watering a garden. And watering a garden, and in order to have that, like, let's say the garden is your new life. And let's say that if you're crying, that water is going to help those seeds of the new life blossom and grow and blossom, grow and blossom. And then you have to also remember it needs the sunlight. And I feel like the sunlight is the positivity. So when I look at these stickers that I found, the sunlight would be saying these things to myself that I can put on my calendar. Like, I did my best. I did the laundry. I didn't spend all my money. I didn't eat all the cookies. I took a shower today. Well, I like to take baths, which is my relaxation time, because I like to soak my joints and relax. So, okay. I only had one glass of wine, and I love red wine, so that's a good one. I paid my bills on time. Like, these are things that I just think are great things for us to stick on our calendars and just remind ourselves of. Because getting accolades is something that when you're in a narcissistic relationship, you don't get accolades. You don't get compliments. You don't get, hey, good job, And when you do get it, it's like you're starving for it. So I think it's really important for us to remember that you're not going to achieve that justice that you want. So you have to give it to yourself. You're going to have to just love on yourself. So that's why I do these videos too, is I want to make sure that people understand that we have to share our story. Like, it's very, very important to share your story. Write it down in your diary, write it down in your journal, document it, because that way you can, Dr. Romney calls it an ick book, is what she calls it. Like, write a list of all the things, or all the ruminating thoughts of all the experiences you've had with this person. When you feel like you're going to give them another opportunity to come back into your life, read that ick book before you do that, and then you'll be like, no, I'm not doing that. Also, if you can, do videos. I think videos are good because these YouTube videos are like time capsules, I think. They're something that you can actually go back to and reflect on, but also something that your loved ones can see. And if you're no longer here, because we all have an expiration date, unfortunately, won't live forever, you can always look back at them, and your loved ones can, to know exactly what you were feeling. And I was really surprised that anybody cared about what I had to say, like, totally. I was so like, oh, no one's going to look at these videos. This is just something for me to do while I'm sitting in my house by myself, and while I'm, healing from my physical which we will talk about in another video, my physical illnesses that I've acquired, that have been also because of the stress that you go through with a narcissist. So, like, as I've been in my recovery process, I needed to just make some videos, to just do something besides watch TV. And sometimes I couldn't write in the journal. That's another thing that may happen, that may make you want to do a video, because sometimes it's difficult to write it down or even put it on a video. I do the videos because I feel like I'm getting it out, like I'm talking about it. I have a therapist. I have Dr. Romney also, who I look at on YouTube, and I have a couple of friends that I trust, just probably 3 really. And it's difficult because sometimes when you want to write, the emotions come even stronger. And then, like, my hands will start shaking. I'll be remembering things. So that's difficult. Another thing that you can do when you can't do a video, you can't write, if you have any text messages from that person that would be abusive, or from anyone who was a flying monkey, someone who was helping them, or any situation that happened, email, video that you might, or even a text message, like I said, that came from someone else, screenshot it and read it. Read it, and it may seem like, oh, well, you're glorifying it, or you're trying to relive it. In a way, it's good to relive it, because as you relive it, you realize this is why I'm not with this person. This is why I'm choosing to have a better life, a different life. And those flying monkeys or people who have hurt you on his behalf, you need to read that information to remind you that they don't have the power to kill you. You're still surviving. This is a survival situation. And even if it is your children or stepchildren or his family members or friends, whoever it could be, remember that God loves you. If you are someone who doesn't believe in God, I suggest you read the Bible. And, the people say, read Job, about what happened with Job, or listen to certain ministries. Like, I like Joel Osteen, but I'm Catholic, so I also like to do my rosary. I like to make sure that I go and get the Eucharist and get refreshed by the blessed Eucharist. But I mean, if you have whatever it is, whatever your spiritual power or whatever gives you some strength, focus on that. And the rumination, the thinking it through, the constantly, put it in a book, put it in a video, maybe even, like I said, screenshot some different things that might help you, and replay that when you're not having therapy, when you're not able to look at Dr. Romney on YouTube videos, or, even if you're not able to get this book, which I really suggest that everyone get this book. It's not you. But the final thing I want to say before we end this is that I want you all to really get into a community of people who are narcissistic survivors, narcissistic abuse survivors. I have a group that I'm getting involved with now. And the problem is I'm just now getting healthy. I haven't been able to walk. I haven't been able to, without a walker. I'm getting physical therapy twice a week at my house because I can't even get in the car and drive. And I have a nurse that comes twice a week that, checks my blood pressure. All these things are for me to try to get myself healthy enough so that I can get off short-term disability and get back to work, so that way I can be in that good environment of people. And working is such an important thing as well. I find it to be literally life-saving to have a job. And for someone who has had businesses and been a stay-at-home mom, and basically my life revolved around whatever my husband and my children wanted, and now to focus on myself and to go to a job that actually appreciates me, have a boss that actually cares, and have coworkers that actually are positive and doing something positive with yourself is so important. So anyway, I wanted to just focus on the positive things of surviving this. And the most important thing, there's an old song, I want to finish with this. There's an old song that Marilyn McHugh used to do, which is way back. I'm, showing my age now, but I remember this was in the 70s, and it's one less egg to fry. It's just basically saying that, now that she's not with this guy, Bill, I think it's called I Love You, Bill, or something like that. And it's kind of a weird thing because she's saying she loves this person, but she's looking at the things she doesn't have to worry about anymore because now she's not with that person anymore. I think it's really important that we do that. We focus on the things that we don't I don't have to look at movies that have murders and things like that anymore. I don't have to watch 48 Hours before I go to bed. And these are things he liked to do. I had no interest in looking at football or anything like that, but this is something that he liked to do. I can actually look at plays, and I can watch shows that are comedians that are women. I can actually pay attention to things that I'm interested in now. And I love to cook, but I don't have to. I love to cook vegetables, and he hated vegetables. So I can choose to make myself vegetarian meals. It's difficult, I know, and I'll make another video about the difficulties, but I want to focus on the positive things. And in the next video, I'm going to talk more about more positive things that you can do and more blessings that you can have. Focus on those people. I have a best friend I've had since I was 9 years old who's been so wonderful to me, Cindy. And I also have about 2 other friends that have been phenomenally supportive to me during this time. And I have my older sons as well, and they're beautiful partners that have helped me. I've got my mother and I've got my sister. So focus on those things that are positive. And I'm going to let you go, but I want to say these videos are for my daughters, for my sons, and for anyone out there who is trying to survive in this very, very cruel world of narcissistic abuse. If I can do it, you can do it. Remember, our goal is to live our best lives, and remembering that every time you wake up, you've got a better opportunity, another opportunity to live a better life and to make the changes you need to make to be happy. Happiness is not a destination, it is a feeling, but it is a feeling that I do want to make sure that I can have as often as possible. So with that, if I've helped you in any way, please like my video, please give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe. Make sure that you take the time to order this book, Dr. Romney, and get your life plan, your calendar, and write down positive things that you can do in your life to get over your narcissistic abusive situation. Thanks so much, and have a great day.